I want to start this debate with the simple truth that we cannot afford to forget. Truly free trade cannot involve slave labor. Today, the Chinese Communist Party is using the forced labor of the Uyghurs and other minorities to help bankroll its genocide against these very same groups. The repression taking place right now in Xinjiang is breathtaking in its scope and its brutality. It involves the detention of more than 1 million people in concentration camps. It also involves surveillance and attempted brainwashing on a massive scale. It involves breaking up families and taking children from their parents. And it involves forced sterilization and forced abortions. This should be a terrifying warning, not only to China's neighbors and to the American people, but also to the world. The Chinese Communist Party is fundamentally focused on expanding its power and its authoritarian style of government. It views things that it does not control, like religion, cultural identity, and the yearning of all people for freedom, as threats that must be destroyed. And because we've drawn the CCP into many of our most critical supply chains, it has the ability to hold our national security hostage while it uses U.S. consumers to subsidize its atrocities. As many as 1 in 5 cotton garments globally are potentially tainted with Uyghur slave labor. Last year alone, U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized a 13-ton shipment of human hair that originated in Xinjiang's forced labor system. It's brazen and it's sickening. We must refuse to be complicit in the CCP's genocide against the Uyghurs, and for that reason, I support the measure before us today. And I wish we could have taken this up earlier. After sending a letter to the Speaker, we are finally at the day where we are now. Last Congress, this legislation went straight to the floor. 2 weeks ago, 10 members of the Foreign Affairs Committee joined me in a letter urging the Speaker to move this bill. I'm grateful that our message was received. But we could send this legislation to the President's desk today by taking up the Senate version. Instead, we're setting this bill up for further legislative gridlock, bypassing a conflicting version. Although I do applaud Chairman McGovern's efforts in this issue. So going forward, I hope the majority in both chambers will move this to final passage, regardless of pressure from the administration to not advance the American values we all share. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.